Stop being a bitch.
All right, Lemonheads, what up? What it do? I am Fungus. You're now tuned into the Evening Juice with Lemon City Live. I'm joined by our Inter Miami ex gonna give it to you over here, Xavier Guerrero. What's up, Xavier? How's it going?
What's going on? Everything good. Everything good.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So if you're tuned in right now, you're watching on our Facebook page, you're watching on our Twitter page, or at the 5 Reasons YouTube network. Shout out to 5 Reasons Sports. And as always, this show is brought to you by Intelligent, an internationally endorsed athletic cognitive brain training simulation that improves players' decision-making, game time awareness, and opponent anticipation. Intelligent simulates actual gameplay in a digital arena to help players better adapt to the shifting realities of real-time sports. So use Lemon City 15, promo code Lemon City 15 to receive a 15% discount on all packages when you sign up. Right there, right down there. Lemon City 15, everybody. So let's get into it, man. How we start every show, we got your week's juice and your phony, Xavier. What you got?
All right, my juice. I'm gonna keep it Inter Miami related.
Let's do it
for my juice, and none other than the Gonzalo Higuain with the brace, big time brace, big time performance when the team needed it. This was a do or die game. There was no tomorrow after this. If they lost this game, I mean, I've been the biggest and the most optimistic person for the whole season since the beginning, but I would have been really down. But I believe, just like I think the team believes, that they still have a good chance. And Gonzalo put it through. He makes them count. He makes it look easy, and it's not. But I give it to Gonzalo because he's the one that scores the goal. But Pozuelo had a good bounce back game too.
Yeah,
he makes it count. His moments count, giving the perfect balls to Gonzalo, and that's my guy. Gonzalo's the juice. He's got the juice this week. Keeps us alive. Gives us a chance now to continue positive and finish the season strong and hopefully go into the playoffs on a good run.
All right, that's what's up, man. We'll get a little more into Inter Miami.
And he scored. He scored his 12th goal in this last 9 games. He has 12 goals in
the last 9 games
in total. Like he has 12 goals.
Yeah, because he had a couple of hat tricks in there, right? Or one hat trick and a couple of braces or something like that.
Yeah, he's been consistent. He's been consistent since he came back, since they started. What's his name? Campana got injured, so he started getting back into the flow, and that's what he's been saying. He's got the minutes, and now he's got the guy that's feeding him the ball. He's feeling it. So yeah, he's got the juice, man.
All right, so yeah, like I said, we're gonna talk a little more Inter Miami at the tail end of the show. What do you got for your phony of the week?
You don't want to do your
my juice? Sure, I got my juice. My juice, Coach Mike McDaniel, bro. He gets his first win as a Miami Dolphin head coach in his very first game. Usually that doesn't usually happen. Yeah, usually they lose a couple or whatever, and then they get their first win. But Coach Mike McDaniel, he got his first win against Bill Belichick. So
yeah, and the last guy to do it for the Dolphins' first win in the first game was Nick Saban.
That's right. Nick Saban was like 2008 or whatever it was.
Like 5, I think it was 2005. Yeah, 2005? Nick Saban. Look at that. Yeah. What a difference. Like we really love McDaniel, not so much with Saban.
Nick,
yeah, that was a nice win.
We would have loved Nick Saban if he would have stayed, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't think there was love with that guy, man.
No, of course
I'm glad he left, kind of, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean,
unless he would have won us the Super Bowl.
Exactly. If he would have had this, even half the success that he's had at Alabama, which is it's a different
boys to men. It's boys
sport.
To men.
Exactly.
It's boys to men. You're coaching boys, and then when men, you can't have the same crappy attitude you have.
Exactly. All right. So who do you got for your phony?
My phony are the people that are still hating on Tua, or I'm not just gonna say still, are hating on him after the very first game where he had a clean game where he did he did what he needed to do, and he got 270 yards. So that's a bad game. That's a bad game, supposedly 270 yards, no interceptions. I saw the game. I saw a couple of iffy decisions. Of course, we want to clean that up. Especially, he's his 3rd season already, so he should be a little bit better with that. But I think you got to give the guy a chance. You go look around the league and you see some guys, these top quarterbacks, making
Yeah,
mistakes, and the
of
team's
course.
losing, but you got the win. Like I always say, you
Hmm.
don't apologize for a win. He got away with it. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but he made
Yeah.
some good throws. That throw on 4th and 7 to
Yes.
basically ice the game, because I think that was
Yeah.
like a dagger starting off. That
And
was
that's
that was tough.
bro, cojones by Mike McDaniel to call that play on 4th and 7,
That's
bro.
that's true. That's
Yeah,
true. It's cojones by everybody because Mike makes the play, but these guys have to execute it. And
exactly.
Tua, I'm sure, since he knows the whole world is on, looking at every single thing he does. Imagine if he
Hmm.
throws an interception or an incomplete there.
Oh
Everybody's
yeah,
hating him, but the
that's
guy
it.
put a bullet, put it perfectly, and then the Waddle just
Yeah,
broke three guys. It was like boom. That was beautiful. I mean,
yeah, man.
I was jumping up and down. It's been such a long time since I've been so optimistic. And
I
Mike
know.
Daniel, your juice is one of the reasons for that.
All right, man. My phony goes to Bill Belichick because, bro, ever since they lost Tom Brady, they haven't been the same, right? Bill Belichick has not beat Tua Tagovailoa yet. He is 0-4 against Tua, man. So
And they still hate him. The people hate him.
people still hate him, right?
He's
Sheesh.
all about the results.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, the season started nice. The game
Hmm.
against the Ravens is gonna show us something else. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, that's the Dolphins got a tough couple of games coming up ahead. They got the Ravens this week, and then they got the Bills the week after
Buffalo.
that.
They're going to show us
Yeah,
right off the bat if they're legit or not. I mean, even if they
exactly.
lose, we'll know if they're legit. Because
Yeah.
if you lose a 3-point game, a 1-point game, a tie game, it's early in
Hmm.
the season. You're legit. But if they get blown out like they've done a couple of times with Buffalo, like 30
Yeah,
points, then okay, it might be the same old Dolphins. And those
exactly.
games, Tua has to show up. Plus the running
Definitely,
game, of course. The running game didn't help at all.
definitely. Because yeah, and let's just start talking Finns already, right?
Let's
So
let's do it.
let's do it. So yeah, the Dolphins. The Dolphins defense is great, right? But when you're playing against teams like the Bills, like the Kansas City Chiefs, all those big time teams in the NFL, you can't just do it with defense. You got to score points against those guys because they're gonna score points. A great defense can do against those teams is slow them down a little bit, right? So
You can only hope to contain them.
exactly. So yeah, man, the Dolphins offense has to step it up, right? What? How many did they put up this week? 20. That's not enough.
20-7, yeah.
Yeah, 20 points is not going to be
And,
enough
and
against the
seven and
Bills.
7 points was a touchdown by the defense. So you know,
Exactly. So yeah, and even the Ravens coming up next week. That's tough, man. Lamar Jackson
mhm.
is betting on himself, right? He didn't sign the contract that they offered him, so
He
they.
shouldn't have. He shouldn't have either,
I
because
know.
the way they're off throwing money around, the way they
Yeah.
threw money around to the Sean, and
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed money too. I mean, he's making a stand, and he's
Yeah.
making a stand not just for himself, but for like the rest of the league. Because
Yeah.
I don't personally understand how football, the roughest sport, the sport where you kill yourself, the
Yeah.
money's not guaranteed.
It's ridiculous.
And then in
They have
basketball,
the
you got
worst
you,
players association.
yeah, yeah, in
Yeah.
basketball, or the worst, the roughest owners. But in
Mm-hmm.
basketball, you got the 15th guy on the bench, making millions, and that money's guaranteed, bro. You
Yeah.
pay me, you pay me. So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm with him on that. Make that stand for him and for everybody else coming after him. I think that has to change in the NFL.
I 100% agree. But yeah, so you know for sure Lamar Jackson is out for blood this year. He wants to kill it every game because he wants to get paid. He's betting on himself. So the Dolphins, they need to come correct this week. Here he goes. Another one that needs to come correct. Edwin. Where's a good looking guy with the long hair and beard?
Are they asking for Achilles?
Yeah, I guess Achilles. He's out sick. He's out sick.
Okay.
It's not the Rona,
I
but
hope not, because that would be like super long Rona. That would be
I
like
know.
forever. No.
All right, so that leads me to our first. All right, so on this week's, we mentioned it, that 4th and 7 touchdown from Tua to Jalen Waddle. he hit a top speed of 20.8 miles per hour on the play.
Oh, he was
That's good.
slow.
As he was slow, right? That was the fifth fastest recorded run this past week in the NFL. So how about that?
Impressive,
And
impressive.
very impressive, man.
We have two nice elite weapons. In Tyreek impressed me a little bit with his that one-handed grab
Oh,
because
that was
I knew we
incredible.
always knew he when he gets it he can take off, but he
Yeah.
had some issues with some drops, dropsy some once in a while. But he looks a little more polished. His route running is nice,
Yeah.
and the way that McDaniel used him, move him around, you can't they can't set up and know like try to contain him because he's all over the place. And
Yeah.
if when he moves one place, you got to pay attention to him. But then you got Waddle over here,
Exactly.
and we got weapons. And Gesicki's not even a factor at all. And I think he's a really good tight end. So
Oh,
I want to
once
see what they're going to
they
do with him.
once they figure out how to include him in everything, because man, yeah, that guy he's an amazing athlete. He
Yeah, I
catches
think
everything
so.
that's in his range.
He's
You
fast
know.
too for
Yeah.
his size.
Yeah,
I
for
guess
sure.
they talk about the blocking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he could improve on that, but he's the type
Yeah.
of guy. I wouldn't want him to get traded like they were saying. People are talking about
Yeah.
rumors. I hope he's finding a way to use him. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is a good coach, and then we have a couple other nice tight ends too. So it's not just him, but he
Yeah.
could be elite. He is
Yeah.
one of the top. I think he can be one of the top tight ends. So they have to
I
find
agree.
that guy.
Yeah, man, most definitely. But yeah, man, like we were saying, Tua, great, not great game, but he played well, man. No turnovers is what I like to see again, especially against a Bill Belichick coached defense.
He got lucky. He got lucky a couple
He did,
times,
yeah, he
made
did,
some
but
bad
still,
decisions. But
hmm
it's part of the game, right? Sometimes you're
exactly,
unlucky. You put the ball right there, hits the guy, goes off, and it's an interception, and they count it on you. But
exactly.
but I think that if he gives me 250, 270 consistently,
hmm
I'm happy. I mean, remember we'd have games of like he barely makes 100 yards sometimes,
Yeah.
and I saw him throw the ball downfield a little bit more.
Uh huh.
So I'm happy with his debut. First game,
Yeah, for sure.
season started well. The next two games, like you said, are against two of the top teams in the AFC and in the NFL in general. So we're gonna
Yeah.
see right off the bat. We're gonna see what do we got. What does Mike McDaniel have? Because he's supposed to be a genius, and he's very into detail. He scouts, the teams. He knows all their tendencies. He plays with their weaknesses. So we're
hmm
gonna see it with this guy. We're gonna see it right off the bat. The season couldn't have started any
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, man. Dolphins win the turnover battle 3-0. Right, that's an important stat. They need to continue to do that. And like I said, they have the defense to do it. They just need to be smart when they're on the offensive side of the ball. It starts with not turning the ball over. Then
Absolutely.
it's putting up points, right? Because one thing
Yeah.
that the Dolphins did last year that I mentioned a couple of shows ago, last season, that it affected the defense is that the Dolphins turned the ball over a lot, and that kept the defense on the field. That's why the defense didn't appear as dominant as they should have, even though we did have a top five defense last year.
Defense wins championships, and we've gotten Melvin Ingram looked really good,
Yeah.
like right off the bat,
Mm-hmm.
and we have weapons. Phillips has he didn't record. I don't believe he recorded a sack. I don't
No.
remember, but he's gonna get his,
Yeah.
and we have you look at each player on the defense, and you got ballers. And then you
Yeah.
look at the two safeties. I know that they were talking about, these two young safeties. You got to start talking about maybe these guys are, two of the best, if not the best combo in the league. Because Holland
Mm-hmm.
is a stud, and Jones, I think, is underrated. He's a playmaker. He's been making plays since his rookie year. He's a
Yeah.
tough kid. And you saw we have Darth Cater, the young cornerback, the free agent
Uh
from
huh.
Texas A&M Commerce. He came up and just his first game comes up with like three big huge plays, and then we have the number one draft pick cornerback that we've had on the roster for now his third year, who could barely get off the bench. So
I know.
it's funny how things work out sometimes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's and it's talking about football. Nobody is an expert really. Even the guys that are quote unquote experts, the coaches, even when they become people in the media and they talking about all the games and stuff like that. They're None of those guys are able to break it down perfectly, man.
It's hard
Because
to predict a sure thing. It's like,
it really is. It
when you're
really
dealing
is.
with humans, it's very difficult because
Yeah.
nowadays it's more open with the whole mental awareness and mental
Hmm.
factor. In pro sports, the mental is huge,
Yeah.
and I think because Iganami, how do you pronounce his last name? I forgot. He
Igbenogany.
Ignagami. He's physically talented. Physically,
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have to pronounce it when for
Yeah.
me. He's
That's fine.
physically talented. I think it's just like maybe he's mentally not into it right now or something.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what it is for the guy because in college he was a stud. I
Yeah.
mean, he came in a big program from Auburn. He played against
Hmm.
big time players. He performed, and it just hasn't transitioned into the pros. Maybe that's a guy that if he goes elsewhere, then you'll see him blow up.
Yeah, and it happens. Sometimes you just need to change the scenery, so maybe they can trade him for something if he doesn't step up to the plate.
It'd be good for him and the team if they could get something from him. I just don't know if they'll be able to get anything from him, or
Yeah.
if they'll trade him because he has the talent and the potential. They still haven't given up on him, so he's there.
Exactly. Exactly. And yeah, man. Hey, that Javon Holland interception that you mentioned, that was actually created by X
Yeah.
by Xavier Howard.
You
Man,
know
that.
what's funny? You know
Uh
what's
huh.
funny that you're watching that I'm watching the game, and I think it was Adam Archuleta. I don't know who was the one that was talking.
Hmm.
They focused on Xavier, and they said, "Oh, that's a pass interference because he kind of had him held here."
Uh
Things
huh.
that every cornerback and that happens consistently throughout the league, and then
Yeah.
he points it out. Just with him, it was a great play. He was with him step for
Yeah.
step. He had a little bit here, but I'm sure the receiver had, Devontae had a
Exactly.
little hold of him too, and
Yeah.
they both went up. He was that's amazing. He
Hmm.
purposely batted it like they do in the tip drills, and
Yep.
Javon was there, got it,
Yeah.
and that was a big drive because I was a little. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little nervous. I was like, wow, they're moving the ball. Max started out looking pretty good, moving the ball
Yeah.
on us, and that turned it around. I was like, oh, nice. There we go. That's what we need. Big time defense. We
Oh
got a
yeah.
big time defense. It's been a
Definitely.
long time. I mean, we've recently had good defensive teams, but it's been a long time where I look on the defensive side and every single name, I'm like, man, these guys are baller. We got it. We're pretty solid. Pretty
Yeah,
solid.
man. Yeah, yeah. And one thing that I didn't see is they didn't really get to the quarterback that much as I would like to see at least. And we only got 2 sacks. You know what I mean? Emmanuel Ogba is one of the guys that got a sack. He's gonna get his.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I would like to see a little bit more quarterback pressure. Obviously, some teams just have a great offensive line. Patriots are one of those teams that always have a great offensive line. That's why Brady never got touched when he was there.
And they scheme well,
So
but they
yeah,
have great offensive lines with a bunch of guys that you're like, who, what,
yeah.
but they're
Hmm.
solid. That's a great. I don't think you can underestimate, that win. Everybody's
Hmm.
it's the Patriots are down. It's another down year.
No,
We'll
the
see as the
Patriots were in the
season.
playoffs last year. I don't understand people downplaying the Patriots and not giving this win the credit that it deserves. Patriots were a playoff team last season.
They're
Point
solid.
point
They're
blank.
always solid. Belichick's
Exactly.
there. It's always going to be a solid team. You don't apologize for victories. Tua got his. His rating, his quarterback rating was
Yeah.
104. And what do you want? What do you want?
Yeah.
Do I want elite? Yes, yes. But if you can give me this consistent high level of play, no turnovers, like you said,
Hmm.
I'll take it because I've seen other quarterbacks. I'm not going to say the big Super Bowl word now. I mean, the season just started, but I'm just giving an example that other quarterbacks that weren't
Yeah.
elite or the best have won Super Bowls with
Hmm.
a solid team,
Yeah.
defense, a solid balanced team, and hopefully we can beat that. We can beat that. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah.
The next two
Because
games are going to tell us something.
I think it's a little crazy now to ask Tua to be Patrick Mahomes or any of those kind of guys. Well, obviously he's not going to be that,
He's
but
beat those guys, right?
yeah,
He's played Mahomes, he beat him. He played
yes,
Herbert, he beat him.
yes. But I'm
He's
talking about
beaten some of
style.
these top quarterbacks. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I know what
yeah.
you're saying. But also they played the Ravens, he won. Like he's gone against top quarterbacks and he's gotten his team a victory. It might not have been ugly. I mean, it might have been great, but he's
Hmm.
gotten a victory against these guys. So that has to
Yeah,
amount to something, right? There's
exactly,
something there. And he so
exactly.
so he still had he's still climbing. I think he's still climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's a late bloomer. It's the third year. He
Yeah.
better start blooming hopefully soon. But sometimes some guys take a little longer than others, right? Look at Tannehill. Tannehill left, and he's been
Yeah.
doing really, really well. And it was what, his seventh. He left after his seventh season here. We never
Yeah.
thought and he's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL right now, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but he's good
You don't
enough
think
to
he's in
help
the top
Tennessee.
15? You don't think he's in the top 15?
Top 15, maybe. Maybe he's number 15.
So he's in the
Yeah.
top half.
So
Better than
exactly.
what we had when he was here.
Honestly, he's good enough to be a starter, and he's good enough to be a winning quarterback. Not every quarterback in the NFL is on that level. You know what I mean? Not all 32 teams have a quarterback that is capable of winning games for them. So you got to give at least you got to give that to Tanny.
Maybe a handful, really, like the guys that own the game, that change the game. How many? It's only a handful. It's so hard
Yeah.
to find a good quarterback. There's only 32 jobs, and you still can't fill it with these great quarterbacks. So,
Yep.
well, it's
Exactly.
I want Tua to be top 10. I'll be happy
That
that
would be amazing.
he's not there yet, but his
Yeah.
numbers for this first game put him there,
Mm-hmm.
But it's only one game.
Yeah.
But it was a good game.
Definitely. All right. So let's look ahead a little bit to the Baltimore Ravens. Right. We were talking a little bit about that game. Very run heavy. Obviously, that's the scheme that they like to put. But yeah, the Dolphins.
Tough
What do you?
physical team. They're always
Oh, for
tough.
sure.
They're always physical. They used to beat up on the Dolphins. The
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins, won the last meeting, an upset, and they to me every time I see Baltimore and Miami, they give Miami some fits because of their physicality, and they always whooped our butts pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think that last season's victory was nice. I think that we can, the Dolphins can have a chance again if they can contain, the quarterback, keep him
Yeah.
in the pocket, don't let him, put pressure on him.
I think force him to run.
Well, he didn't run
Honestly.
much the last game, right? I think he's trying to make a
Yeah.
point with his
Yeah.
contract that I can throw. I am a quarterback, so and he
Mm-hmm.
made some
Mm-hmm.
nice throws. He made some nice throws.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. They got to force him to run because he doesn't want to do that right now.
Run away from the pressure
Yeah.
and get him down. Force him to move around and be
Mm-hmm.
erratic.
Yeah.
But we're gonna need to be physical in that game too. So Miami can't
Yeah.
afford to average 2.8 yards a carry in
No.
that game. They
At
can't.
all.
They can't afford to do that. So I'm dying to see what Mike McDaniel is going to do to help
Mm-hmm.
that out, because I'm sure right after the game was over, he was already thinking, okay, this is what, because they said it. There were so many things to clean up, so many
Yeah.
things that happened. So I can't wait. The next two games are football season's back.
I
The
know.
Dolphins, the biggest brand in South Florida. I know that he has been the winner, but if Miami does anything, it'll be like we've never seen before, because this was
Oh
the last
yeah.
time that Miami
Exactly.
celebrated anything was what, 1973?
Yeah.
1973. So, hopefully at some point in the near future, they're building something. It looks like they're building something. It looks like they have the right coach. But
Mm-hmm.
it's only been one game, so we might be getting, a little. I'm excited. I
Hey,
mean, I've
but
been a Dolphins
everybody
fan
seems to
since
like him.
I've
Everybody
been a
seems to like
Dolphins fan.
McDaniels, and all the people seem to everybody that's been covering the Dolphins for the whole preseason. They like what they see. You know what I mean? I People that have covered him from his time in San Francisco, they all say good things about him. So he inherited a good team already. A team that had two straight winning seasons with a great defense, and he's an
Flores did a lot.
offensively minded coach to
Yeah.
fix that side of the ball. I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah, Flores deserves credit for getting a team that they
Yeah.
thought tank for Tua, and he said tank for nothing, man. I'm gonna go win. He gave the team an
Yeah.
attitude. I think he gave them an
Mm-hmm.
identity.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely on defense.
Yeah.
That rough. We have a tough defense. We
Yeah.
have we have ballers, and Flores has a lot to do with the scheming, with the player selection, with
Yeah.
everything.
You
So
know
he
what?
inherited that.
If this current Dolphins administration wins a Super Bowl with a lot of these same players that we have right now, they better send a ring to Brian Flores.
Oh, you're crazy. You crazy? That's not gonna happen. Maybe
I know it won't
one of
happen,
those
but
little
come
bubble
on.
gum rings. Do they still have those
Yeah.
little machines where you put in the money and you get one of those little bubble gum rings? Am I dating myself? I mean, am I? Yeah,
Oh, no, no, no.
I am old.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But Flores, nah, he's gone. He's
I
gone. You
know.
don't want to. He's a name. You don't want to mention in the hallways right now.
Yeah.
But he did good. He did good,
Yeah.
and he's gonna do well with Pittsburgh, and then he'll get another
Yeah.
opportunity again. Hopefully, if
Mm-hmm.
he's shown he is a legitimate
That's a
head
man.
coach.
That's a great fit for him over at Pittsburgh, man, because they are always defensively minded. So they got the perfect head coach to not head coach. I'm sorry, they got the perfect defensive coordinator. Oh, he's not even a defensive coordinator, is he?
That is yeah,
Yeah.
he's on the defensive side, but
Yeah, but they got the perfect
Fitzpatrick.
guy to bring back that sort of identity, to Pittsburgh that you were talking about that he
Yeah,
brought to
yeah.
the Dolphins. So,
Pittsburgh
hmm
is always a team that no matter what is there in the battle for some
yeah,
reason. So
yeah, man,
hopefully, yeah, we keep that defense going. McDaniel gets that offense revving. Starts moving it
mm-hmm,
around, and it's gonna be fun. The this year,
100%.
this season, this last couple of seasons are starting to be fun again in Miami because you're
Yeah,
getting the Canes, you're getting the Dolphins. The Heat was fun. We thought we could have got taken it. The
mm-hmm,
Marlins are leaving us a little bit, are slacking a little bit, but they're fun
man,
because they have some exciting players. I mean, Alcantara is
yeah,
amazing. So it looks like the sports
Man,
scene is starting to
Marlins
change
are
again,
so weird because we had three All Stars this year, and the Marlins did,
and we
and
suck.
and they are
I
just
didn't mean
they're
to say it like
terrible.
that. I didn't mean to
I'm
say it like that because I don't like to say like the players suck or anything like that. But I think it's more when I say suck, I'm gonna direct it more at the administration
yeah,
and at the people above because they don't give the players they don't give the team the what's necessary to win. And anytime
yeah,
a kid balls out, he's gone. you
mm-hmm,
know. So
yeah,
and the fans, it's a great place, great stadium, nice, lovely to go. But it was a 5-year plan, and the 5-year plan is still worse than when the first year started, right?
yeah.
So now it's going to be another 10-year plan. So we're going to sell again, or I don't even
We'll
know what
see.
to say with that team, man.
Yeah, but whatever. We're not talking to Martins right now. Let's
No,
just let's just stick a
yeah,
little bit to the NFL.
that's
Let's
it.
look back at some of these Week 1 games. I'm assuming you watched a lot of football this past weekend.
I
Yes.
kind of looked at all the games that Edwin and I
Uh huh.
predicted.
Okay.
I know I didn't do very well. So I
Yeah.
didn't keep track of. I know he wrote to me that he
Yeah.
did better than I did,
Yeah.
but I told him that wasn't
Don't
much.
believe him.
That wasn't much. Oh no, that wasn't much. Like for
I
the first
honestly
game,
don't know. I
first
don't
week.
know.
I mean,
But I wouldn't believe Edwin when he says things
we
like
had
that.
three games we were same,
Uh
and
huh.
three games where we picked different. So that's where we
Oh,
could have.
okay. Yeah.
The Cowboys, the boys let us down. I remember I picked them to
You picked the
upset,
Cowboys, bro.
just for an upset, but I should have known better, right? I should have known that
Should have.
Dak is just what, like a walking injury.
He is, man. It's crazy because
And
you see Joe Burrow over there in Cincy getting
yeah,
demolished every game. He just man he needs an offensive line because he just gets touched all day, man, in every game. And then you see Dak Prescott over in Dallas gets breathed on and he gets an injury. You know what I mean?
that's where you need
So
that guaranteed money in the NFL, man.
yeah. Well, Dak got paid. He got paid. I don't know if it was all guaranteed, but he got a big contract.
Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
All
He
right.
got
So
big bucks.
did you watch Bills Rams?
I did. I expected. I expected
Hmm.
better from the Rams. I expected
So did
better
I.
from Stafford. I thought that I said I think it's clicked now. He won a Super Bowl. He's in a place where he has a lot of weapons around him.
Hmm.
The defense, but Buffalo looked really good.
Yeah.
They were able to move the ball. They ran through that defense. They ran
Hmm.
through them, which
Yeah.
was impressive. Which was
Yep.
impressive to me. Which is what I worry about against the Dolphins because initially New England ran the ball pretty decently, and then they recovered and did a really good job. But
Yeah,
I was impressed with Buffalo. I mean, I see
they
all the
were
experts were
hungry,
saying
man.
they're great. Yeah, they
Yeah,
looked really good. And
yeah, they looked like
ago?
they want it more than anybody else.
How long ago were they bad? It wasn't that long ago. They've
No,
turned the team around, and I would say a matter of 3 seasons.
yeah, like 3 seasons.
Maybe 3 seasons or so.
Hmm.
So they look legit. They look
Yeah,
legit with the
and
quarterback.
obviously Josh Allen is a big reason for that. That guy's incredible. He's got all the tools, man. He's got speed. He can throw the pinpoint accuracy. He's got a cannon. That guy is. It's really hard to stop that guy, and he's got good weapons at his disposal. So that's
Yeah,
gonna
no,
be a tough team to take down.
they're solid. They're solid. The
Yeah,
AFC East is going to be fun. It's going to be
yeah.
fun. It's going to be fun battling with Buffalo. We're going to see what
Mm-hmm.
we're made of. What
Oh yeah.
Miami's made of with that team.
Yep. 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 All right. Did you watch that Steelers Bengals overtime
They
game?
always have those that division always has like great back and forth games, right?
Yeah.
Those guys are forever rivals, and the games are always great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh. I mean, Pittsburgh's one of the iconic institutions in
In
all
the
of
NFL.
sports, not just
Mm-hmm.
NFL,
Okay.
but in all of sports, but
Mm-hmm.
particularly in NFL. And yeah, I mean, it's awesome. The first week started off pretty good. First
Yeah.
week started off pretty good.
Yep. Yep. And then we already talked Bucks Cowboys. Any surprises on the Tom Brady side of the ball?
Brady's Brady. The surprising thing is that at that age,
Mm-hmm.
he's gotta be a time traveler, or he's like in Men in Black. Like you press a button and he opens up and an
Yeah.
alien comes out. It's amazing what he's doing. We have to appreciate greatness. He's been great
Yeah.
for so long,
Yeah, man.
and he's at an age where this is not. He's gonna have to let the rest of humanity know what he's doing,
Yeah.
because it's not that's not normal what he's doing.
Exactly. And
That's not normal.
what I want to know is how can he continue taking sacks at his age? You know what I mean?
It's
That's crazy, man.
all that stretching, and all those juices and all that stuff that he,
Must be.
it makes him flexible.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it.
Stretch
I don't know
Armstrong, I
how he
guess.
does it.
It's incredible, man.
He
And then
probably gets hit harder by Giselle though, because she's pissed that he's playing. So
oh,
he
she's
probably
so
whacks
mad at
him
him.
harder than any of these linebackers are gonna hit him. So.
She is so mad. And this week was actually the week that a lot of quarterbacks played against their former teams, because we saw Russell Wilson with the Broncos visit Seattle.
Did you see that? Did you see what they're
Yeah.
talking about the decision making?
Yeah.
About the fourth and 5 yards, and then you
That
kick
was
like a,
weird. It was weird to see Russell Wilson, you know,
after you paid that amount of money to
yeah.
a guy, you don't use him.
Yeah, it was weird to see Russell Wilson make the kind of mistakes that he was making, though. Like some of the bad passes that he made, some of the weird decisions that he made. And
Could be
also,
that
like,
jitter.
and got to put it on the coaching staff as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, it could be the jitters, like you said, but you got to put
Going back.
some of that on the coaching staff, not managing the clock well. It was really weird to see. And
Yeah.
I think it was weird to see the Seattle fans booing him in the beginning of the game. Like how can you boo someone like that? He after all the years that he made your team relevant, and it wasn't just him. Obviously, they had a great defense that carried him in the beginning of
You're
his
hurt.
career.
You're
You know
hurt.
what I
You're
mean?
hurt. It's
Yeah,
really
but
love. It's called resent. You're resentment because you
yeah,
wish he was still yours. You
for
wish he was still
sure.
with you. But let me tell you, Geno Smith, it was only
Yeah,
it's only one game, because he's been around a long time,
yeah,
and he hasn't. More was expected. He was a
yeah,
number one draft pick.
yeah,
More was expected from him, but he showed why. He showed some of the things that the scouts thought he could do at the NFL level, and he
yeah,
did it. He had a pretty
bro.
decent game. He
Geno Smith.
outplayed Russell.
Yeah, man. Geno Smith. Born and raised in the county of Dade. Shout out to Geno Smith over there. He balled out. When he was at West Virginia, I think he had like an 80 touchdown, 1 interception season or something
Yeah,
crazy
yeah. No,
like that.
he was
He
outrageous.
was out of his mind. So the fact that he's now doing what he's doing in Seattle shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. All that should show you is how good players can fail when they're being mismanaged, right? from his time at the Jets.
Everybody fails at the Jets.
Yeah,
Everybody fails at
yeah.
the Jets. And I
So
don't want to be rough either, but it's just it's what you said, man. It starts from the top. You know, the organization, the structure, the people that are managing this. You have to
yeah,
have the right players, the right culture. You have to put a guy like Gino with the right weapons, with a solid team, a good line, a
yeah,
running back. It's one of the things that I'm upset with Miami. I know they brought in a couple of running backs and stuff, but we had opportunities in the draft
yeah.
and to get solid guys. I remember when Jonathan Taylor was available. I said, "Wow, they could get him," and boom, just went over him. And I thought, okay,
Nothing.
maybe in the third round they'll get a guy, maybe in the fourth round. And
Yeah,
you a running back. It doesn't matter how much the offense has evolved. You need a guy to run the ball, man.
yeah,
You need a guy that can get you 4 yards. Make the defense honest. And we don't. I don't. I'm not sure if we have that yet. I know we have speedsters, but I always remember from my day, I was a big Eric Dickerson fan, and Barry Sanders. I know you're not gonna give him the ball 30 times, like that era is over. But
yeah,
you got to get guys where you can get 10, 15 carries, and let them get a little sweat and get a groove going. Maybe even 20 if they're looking good. You
yeah.
know, you, so but that's one of the things that I wish Miami was a little better at.
Yeah, but also a lot of the run game depends on the offensive line. We
Yeah.
haven't had a great offensive line in a while, and it's going to take some time for these guys to gel, and for the running backs to get used to the kind of holes that the offensive line is building for them. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I remember last year, by the end of the season, the running game was a lot better than it was at the beginning of the
Yeah, the
season.
trenches. The trenches are
Yeah.
key for any team in
Mm-hmm.
the NFL, man. If you dominate the trenches, you're doing good. You're doing
Exactly.
good. You're doing good. If you're penetrating on defense, or if you're holding that line on offense, you're doing great. Your quarterback's standing up and he's not on the ground
Mm-hmm.
getting hit
Yeah.
or being chased. It's it's great. So let's see what he does with his offensive line.
Yeah, and McDaniels is a running game guru, so I have confidence that he'll figure it out.
He'll clean it up. He'll
Yeah,
clean it up.
yeah. All right, man. Let's get into a little bit of Inter Miami. I know you touched a little bit on it
You
during
don't got
your.
my song again, do you?
Of
You
course
don't
not.
have.
Edwin hasn't uploaded it to the show. He's the one that
I
has the song.
I thought I was official. I even have the Lemon City live shirt. I thought the
Yeah,
song would come on. Oh,
I'm gonna
but
I'm gonna I'm gonna tell Edwin to send me the songs, or
I
I'm
hope
gonna
he
make him
types in.
upload it.
No, it's just funny when you mentioned that one time. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, no, Inter Miami. Oh, talking about
One
running
one
backs.
last
Did you
one
guys
last
have
football
draft?
question before we move on here.
Whoa, that's a
Instead of
tough one.
Jalen Phillips. Yeah, that is a tough one because the running back position is not as valuable as it used to be in the draft, at least.
Yeah.
And Jalen Phillips went in the first round. I don't see a lot of running backs really getting taken in the first round. I wish somebody would have dropped to where the Dolphins could have taken some, maybe like in the third round. I remember.
That was the question, right? At that point
Yeah,
in
there were
time,
some.
where would they go? And
Yeah,
then most of the fans were saying running back, but these guys, it's like you said, they don't value it
yeah.
like that. But he's a special player.
Mm-hmm.
But Phillips is a special player. I mean, he balled
Yeah,
out as a rookie too.
yeah,
So
he
I think
did.
they even themselves out. I don't think either way would have been good, right? It's
Yeah,
one of
he
the few
he was one
times
of the leading sack recorders last
as a
season
rookie,
as a rookie. Hmm.
they balanced each other out. I think it's one of the few times where Miami either direction would have been great. Not like
Yeah,
some other times where Miami, could have had one choice and then they go to the wrong way. Now, this one they would have been
yeah,
good either way. But me personally, yeah, I don't mind Phillips. I don't mind
hmm,
because I think, like I've always said, I think defense wins championships, and I think Phillips is a special player. So
yeah,
is Najee, but I think you get more of a chance to get another running back to produce, not exactly like him, but produce. It's hard.
yeah,
I think you have a special player with Phillips, and it's harder to get those type of guys.
yeah.
You know, so I don't think they did bad. I'm fine with that pick, but he needs
There
to
we go.
produce. He started like last
Yeah,
season. He was a little bit slow, and then boom, boom,
yeah.
boom, he warmed up, and so we can't afford that this season. He needs to start
Exactly.
producing now.
Especially with difficult games being at the beginning of the season. Like he needs to start producing next week or this coming Sunday when we're playing against Lamar Jackson. Like I
He
said,
needs to chase him down. He's fast enough to
exactly.
cause trouble, make Lamar
Yeah.
uncomfortable. We have the
Hmm.
players. It's gonna be nice, man. I can't wait for the next 2 weeks to see,
Yeah.
okay, where are we as far as in the long term scheme for the Dolphins. I know
Yeah.
we're better than last year.
Yes.
That I can see in the first game.
For sure.
Now, how far away are we from the top dogs?
And you know
And
what? You,
that's
you
what we want
can
to do.
literally compare because last year we played the Patriots at the beginning of the season as well, and we barely beat them. We barely beat the Patriots last season. So yeah, man, like you love to see it.
Yeah,
All
domination.
right. Shout out to Lenny for the questions. So yeah, man, let's get into it. Enter Miami, bro. We talked a little bit about it during your juice with
Yes, sir.
Higuain there getting his brace.
Must win. How many times have we mentioned must win game? Must win game.
Hey,
Must
bro,
win game.
when you're always right outside of the playoff picture looking in, every game is a must-win game.
You know what? It's I guess in that suffering and in that tension is what's made the season so exciting and what's probably giving the team um, that juice that if they
Yeah.
do get into the playoffs, they're dangerous. I mean, I've said it for a while. Now it doesn't look so great because they're still out. They need to
Mm-hmm.
win and they need help. Certain things to happen because that 3 game losing streak on the road was horrible. I didn't
Yeah,
expect that. I didn't expect 3 games like that.
I
And
know.
and Franco, we were talking the game yesterday, and then he did like a Twitter space. One of the things he mentioned, which I completely agree with him. When Pozuelo got red carded, hold up a second. So I have a little. Hey guys, please. Uh, it's a live podcast. I
Yep.
have 4 kids. It happens. 2 of them really small. But with Pozuelo getting kicked out of that game,
Yeah,
Miami
that
was
was
looking
tough.
good against New York, the Red Bulls, which is
Mm-hmm.
top 4 teams in New York. Miami was controlling that game. Miami was
Mm-hmm.
was looking. They could have scored 2 goals right off the bat, and
Yeah.
they just barely missed. And then that happens, and that game, goes to hell. And then the next game, you're affected because you got your guy that's been the spice, the paprika, like our boy Edwin says,
Yeah.
is missing. So it affected the team. But this game was a must-win game. There was no excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because Columbus was 5 points. It's the seventh place team. It's the last
Yeah.
seed. Miami still has a possibility to even climb fifth or sixth. So it's that close, right?
Yep. Yep.
6 points, and
Yeah.
with
The
15
fifth
at,
the fifth seed right now is Orlando City. They have 42 points. Miami has 39. That's only a 3-point difference.
but they needed to win that game because if they
Mm-hmm.
lost, then that's it. They go up 8 points. The seventh place team is up 8 points,
Yeah.
and we're pretty much out of the fight because you have to get 8 points out of the 12. So you're
Yeah.
expecting that you need to win those games, and the
And
other
they
team
need to
has to
lose.
lose. Although Columbus, we were looking at the schedule, they have a tough game this week against Portland. They are in Columbus, but it's a tough game. Portland,
Mm-hmm.
is battling too. It's a really tough team, and they can
Yeah.
beat anybody. And this league is so balanced. It's one of the reasons that I've always picked Miami because I think they can beat anyone on any given day. They can lose to anyone. They just
Mm-hmm.
showed it. They
Yeah.
lost 3-1 against
Chicago.
Chicago. And then that game was one of the games that game was a back. It hurt. That game
Yeah.
hurt. They needed at least a point. To feel positive. But I thought they would get the 3. Like I said last week with Edwin, yeah, if they get the 3, then I'll imagine that those 3 real games were 3 ties, and we got 3 points, and and,
Mm-hmm.
and, and it wasn't so bad. But that loss put them, in the must-win game. They came down to Miami. Columbus is a solid team, is a very solid
Yeah.
team. They came to Miami. Miami is tough at home. They came out. We're not playing great. They decided to do a line of contention. They were playing 4-3-3, which is what Phil said. They wanted to be aggressive. They wanted to attack, but that's not what happened when the game started. They backed off. They gave possession to Columbus, and Columbus, was there, dangerous,
Mm.
dangerous. but Miami was super dangerous on the counter. I think that was their plan to start the game, feel it out, let the other team
Yeah.
come out and open up and leave the space, and it worked out. The first goal for Gonzalo was a brilliant counter. The ball came out to Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor turned, and Lassiter, I think, was underrated in that match
Yeah.
because he had an amazing game. Why? He made huge runs back and forth throughout the game, like long sprints on attack and to defend. There was a couple of times where the defender on his side was left, and he
Yeah.
sprinted like an Olympian sprinter
Damn.
all the way back on the goal for Columbus. He kind of had a little bit of fault because he came back and he got duped really easily, and led to a couple of things to happen where they crossed it and scored. But I thought he had a really good game. The first goal for Miami, Taylor puts it into the space because Lassiter just took off.
Yeah.
Took off, he got it, and he forced the two defenders to come to him, leaving the big space for Gonzalo out behind. And of course, Gonzalo, not the fastest guy in the world, right? But now that
Yeah.
he's more fit, he's fast enough.
He's
He's
fast
more
enough.
fit. He's fast enough. And then
Yeah.
the thing that he has is this speed here, where
Yeah.
he's above practically any player in the league.
Yes.
It's very few guys that have what he has here and what he has at his feet. He still has that touch, and he makes it count. Maybe another forward might have missed one of those goals. No, he made them count. He got his opportunity. He made it count. He made the run. The defender came back to close off on him. The goalie came out, and he just turned his body and brilliantly tapped it. He put it in the corner. That's a really, really nice goal by Miami on the counter. They were down. It didn't look, and now they're all of a sudden they're up 1-0. They didn't deserve, to be honest with you, to be up, but you don't deserve anything. You earn it and you get it because you're a pro. And
So
they did
that
it.
the goals all took place after the rain stoppage, right? Am I right?
No. The first goal by Miami was before, and then they went into the half. I believe it was 1-1. It was such a long night that I got home at 2 a.m, so I was a little groggy, and I had to wake up at 5 for the kids and stuff. But the delay was about 2.5 hours. Okay, and what was shocking to me was when the teams came back out. I know Michelle Kaufman, because I read some of her stuff too. She put that it looked like they had drank Café Bustelo. We were talking about that in the press box. It's like I was shocked that both teams came out with so much energy and the game became open. Because the first half was a little bit, what they say about soccer. It was like a little tedious, close. You were getting some movement, but not much. Miami was basically back defending. In the second half, when they came out, both teams were side to side, like open, clear scoring opportunities and looking to win the game. So that made it fun. I had tweeted, I was like, dude, I hope it's this wait is worth it, because we were there waiting forever. And a shout out to the Inter Miami, people, because they were great. They had the coffee and they're always awesome. I mean, that they're always awesome. So we had a great time. We're talking during every time we have and it's funny to say every time, but when there's a rain delay, because Miami, we get together inside the box and we start debating and talking about stuff, and so we make it fun. So it was great. But I love the second half. It's another one of those great home games, because Miami's had some solid home games. That 4-4.
Yeah, they're one of the top teams in the league at home.
But they win. They come back. In which I hope they don't continue to do that. Get a team and just step on them, which it's not easy. It's such a even league. But second half was great. It was exciting. It was exciting.
Yeah, and now that they have two road games, right, against the two of the bottom dwellers in the East, DC United and Toronto. So this is
Toronto has Toronto's a dangerous team.
Yes, because they have those Italian players over there.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous team, and you're like you said, it's a trip up there. We did well against Montreal when we flew up there, so hopefully This is another. I'm not gonna say must win, but you need points.
Yeah.
They need those 3 points that they lost in Chicago. They need to get them here. They needed those 3 points in Chicago, and then they needed these. And things would be looking a lot better. But they have to win this game too. And it sounds like we're gonna be saying that every game. I asked Gonzalo in the press conference. I asked him, hey, you and Pozuelo are the guys that everybody's looking to lead this team in this last stretch for the playoff run to make this possible. You guys, it's on their shoulders. How do you handle that responsibility? How do you guys go about that? He told me, and it's been great with Gonzalo because this season I've seen a different Gonzalo. In the way that he responds, and you can always tell he's a thinker. He's not just he's a thinker. And he said, look, my life has always been pressure. So ever since I've been 19, that every team I've ever played for, you have to win, which is the truth. He was in River Plate, Argentina. Young lad. Those guys, the pressure that they get in Argentina, I don't think you get anywhere in the world to begin with. But you have to win. You have to win. So to him, he says it's natural to me. Is it great? Sometimes it's a burden because all eyes are on you. But I'm used to it. And I go out. And then he mentioned after how it's more fun for him now, how he's having fun, and it goes back.
Nice.
It's just hilarious to think about. It's pro sports, right?
Yeah.
But it's very similar in the recreational level with the kids.
Okay.
I remember when my kid would play or we were, teams would play, you tell the kids, hey, just enjoy yourself, because you see they'll be a little tight, or it's like just enjoy yourself, have fun. Obviously in the pro, you have to have fun in a different manner, because you're getting paid for this, so don't have too much fun. But you have to. It's a mindset, a feel. You have to be there, and they're enjoying each other as a team. That's one of the togetherness that Phil always talks about. But Gonzalo's having fun. You can see it in the way he scores. Those 2 goals were great, high caliber, high quality goals of a player that has played in the top teams in the world, and he still has some gas left. The tank is not completely full. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Of course not. Yeah.
But he's making a run in the season, and I think he's doing his last dance. That's just me.
Yeah. You think he's done after this season?
I think he's doing his last dance, and he's putting it out there, man. I think he's putting it out there, and he's having a great season so far, and it's not over yet. He's making it count, and now we're getting Campana. Campana played about 30 minutes.
I saw him.
He looked dynamic.
He was warming up.
He looked fit. He ran around. He's strong, and him and Gonzalo's a nice 1-2 punch.
Something we haven't really seen.
When they tried to do it was against San Jose, he got hurt. That's the game he got hurt. So now you got Pozuelo being able to feed 2 guys, and either one of those guys can finish. Obviously, El Maestro, Pozuelo, and Higuain are at another wavelength. Coach talked about that. They just, those guys are so high level players that just by a gesture, a look, the second goal that Gonzalo scored, it was magnificent. Also, because Pozuelo gets the ball and he turns, and Gonzalo is in between 2 defenders, facing, like he kind of goes this way.
Yeah.
And he did that to me to be coy, like he like tricked those guys, and all of a sudden he just turns. He's not Flash. He's not Jalen Waddle. He's not Tyreek Hill. He kind of gave him that little move, and boom, took off in between them. And before he could be outside, Pozuelo went. He just went here. Here, look. Here, I'm gonna give it to you. You handle the rest. Here you go. Yeah. And Gonzalo just got the ball, blasted it with his left. The keeper had no chance because the guy, he's a stud. He can kick that ball with either leg, left, right. Solid. He put it where it needs to be, and he still has the juice. He still has the juice.
There we go.
And he's doing it when it matters. Big time players play big and big time games. That was a big time game. That was a big time game. He came up big. Pozuelo, I kind of attacked him a little bit in the last thing I wrote, because
Mm-hmm.
he was invisible, and
Yeah.
he can't, because you can't be a player where you're a DP and you're hot and you're cold and a little bit. No, you got to be consistently high level.
Yep.
In that game, he ran around, he defended, he was more active, and he was Batman. And I think it helps that he had Robin when they put Duke
Yeah.
in, because the second goal came, at the 82nd
Mm-hmm.
minute. Duke came in at the 79th, and I don't think it's a coincidence, because when Pozuelo's in and Duke is in, now the teams have to worry about there's two guys that can just make beautiful assists. Because
Yeah.
Duke has 6 assists. That's no
Yeah.
joke. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the kid's not a joke either. He's a Pozuelo in the making, and I think, more dynamic as far as running and stuff. But he's a Pozuelo in the making because he has great vision. So he helps Pozuelo. He gets the ball to
Mm.
Pozuelo in positions where now he's clear and has time to give it up. Because when Pozuelo's in there, I'm not gonna say on his own, but there's not another player that can do kind of like what he does.
Yeah.
Defenses can kind of work around, just blocking him off from the ball getting to
Exactly.
him, or not giving him space to turn and filter the pass. So
Yeah.
I've always been a Duke advocate with Pozuelo. I hope they do it more, because I like the way they play.
Yeah,
I've
that'd
been
be
big on the
great.
kid. I think they need it now
Mm-hmm.
more than ever, because you need to score goals. Just like you were talking
Yeah.
about the Dolphins, that you need to score points. Yeah, we need to score
Yeah.
goals, especially that the defense
Look,
is a little
and
hurt.
especially, yeah, these next two games, you're playing against lesser opponents. Here's an opportunity to step on the gas and run up the scoreboard a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to go uh, into Washington, uh,
Mm-hmm.
kicking doors down.
Yep.
Bah, we're here. Miami's here. We're here
Definitely.
to take these 3 points. We're coming after you.
Yeah.
And I want Phil, because he's good. He's good at saying one thing,
Yeah.
and then yeah, it's just playing coy, like
Of
saying,
course.
okay, I'm gonna do this, but then in the game something else
Yeah.
occurs. I would love to see him go into Washington and just pressure from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. Pressure from the beginning.
Yeah.
Look for the game. Throw out your guys. Throw out the guys that are going to score. I mean, go with your big guns, man. Put Campana. Campana is coming back from injury, but he's 21, dude. He's 21. It's now or
Yeah.
never in the season. They need to make a big decision with him, because he's a lone player also, but the team
Yeah.
has an option, to purchase him. So they need to see now in these
Mm-hmm.
4 games what they're going to get from him under pressure,
Yeah.
in circumstances that they need him to step up. And I think he will, because I think the kid is solid. Plus, he has Higuain there, and he has Pozuelo. He has the people that can help him be in the right spot. I want him in there. I want him to start. I would love for Duke to start. I want everything offensive on the field. You know, go for
Yeah.
it. The problem is the defense. The Jamaican King, Damian Lowe, who I think is the heart of that defense.
Yeah.
I think he is the leader of that defense, physically and emotionally too, because he's very feisty, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to use that word, because he's gritty. This is a
Okay.
big man.
Yeah.
He's a gritty guy. He's tough. And he makes a difference. He makes a difference. So hopefully, they said maybe a couple of weeks. I don't know. I haven't heard the latest on
Mm.
the injury report for him, but the defense is affected. The defense
Yeah.
is affected when he's not in there. So
Yeah.
they need to go out there and just keep the pressure on the opposing team. That's
Exactly. Keep the ball on that side of the field.
You need
Yeah.
possession, because if your defense isn't solid, as solid as it should be, because
Mm-hmm.
we had pretty decent defense. You need to have possession, and they didn't have it early on
Mm.
against Columbus. They gave it away, literally.
Yeah.
It was on purpose. They waited. Beautiful counter. They got it. It worked out. But I
Yeah.
don't think that's what you need. You need to
Mm.
have the ball, and defend it while you attack.
Yeah.
Defend as you attack. And if you score, then they got to open up more, and then you got more of a chance. And it's just let's go out and put it all on the table.
Yeah.
That's what I want from Inter Miami. I think they have the players to do it. They have a deeper bench. Um, Sometimes you wish that they move things around a little bit, but I told you at the beginning, Lassiter low key had a really good game. I don't know how much
Yeah.
praise or credit he's gonna get, But I'm watching from the press box, and I'm looking, and I'm seeing this guy make sprints
Mm-hmm.
from the defense all the way up. And then when the other teams, when Columbus County make a sprint from the front all the way down to help,
Oof.
and he's there. Yeah, no, he left it. He left it on the
Mm-hmm.
field. And the first goal, he gets the ball. He got the assist. He gets the ball from Taylor, takes it up,
Mm.
pushes it, and the defender, if he doesn't play it right, the defender kind of might have been able to go get Gonzalo because the other one was coming towards him. But he forced both defenders to come at him because they had to respect his speed. His hesitation, like he'll boom, and then he's gone. So they had to respect his speed, and then he just gave the beautiful pass to Gonzalo. So he got the assist. Plus, he was playing nice on the field, man. He put a lot of heart, and the team in general, I think, like the coach said, they wanted to play
Yeah.
the game. Like there was a rain delay, 2.5 hours, and they were like, man, we want to, they want to play. They
Yeah.
wanted to play, and they looked like it in the second half. They came out to play in the second half. So did Columbus. It was an exciting game. It was a fun game.
Yeah.
It was worth the wait. It was worth the 4 or 5 coffees that I had, to stay there. It was worth getting home at 2 in the morning. But exciting things are coming up. I mean, so we have the game against Washington D.C. You have to take that game.
Yeah,
Toronto,
that one, and I think Toronto too. If Miami can win both road games, and then the last 2 games of the season are going to be at home against
Orlando,
Orlando and against Montreal.
Montreal,
So
but 2 tough teams. Orlando,
yeah.
it's a rivalry. It's a rivalry,
Mm-hmm.
derby, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it. But Orlando's always tough. The
Yeah.
last couple of games, personally, I've seen Miami. The last couple of games look like the
Mm-hmm.
better team, like with
Yeah.
possession control. And then one game they lost because of the own goal, and
Mm-hmm.
then they give up another goal, and it's just Orlando has been able to eke out
Yeah.
victories. That can't happen in this game. That can't.
No.
They can't lose that game.
And
At
Orlando.
worst is a tie.
Yeah.
But a win, those last 2 games at home, if Miami wins, but you're saying two road wins, that would mean they would win all 5 clear. If Miami wins all 5 clear, that'd be amazing. They're going into the playoffs on a streak.
It's four games left in the season. The next 2 games are road games against the worst 2 teams
winnable
in
games.
the conference. You know what I
And
mean?
then 2 at home where we've been,
and then 2 at home where we've
the
been
team
great.
has been
So
one of the best
yeah,
home teams.
exactly. So
Montreal's a dark horse too. Is another tough team, physical.
yeah,
I remember the first game they had Bryce Duke. They're whooping him, boom, boom, boom. Every time he got the ball, that was a boom, knocking him on his butt. Very, very, very physical team. They got up on us, and then we were able to come back and tie. So it's tough. I don't know about winning 5, but
in a row.
I
But
think
it's set up at least
to
to
dream.
win 3
Freedom
of the
to
last
dream.
4. Yes.
Freedom. We have the freedom to dream.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what people don't understand. The team has given us the freedom to dream. They're attacking, there's people attacking the team, the coach throughout the whole season. All this guy doesn't know crap, blah, 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 blah. He's done a very decent job based on all the circumstances. If you look at it, if you look at what's happened during the season, it's been a team that's grown. It's been a team that's kept it exciting, unfortunately, because sometimes of the bad play.
Yeah.
But now they have a chance. Not too many people figured they would have a chance. Many people predicted, the pundits, the experts, for the team to be in the bottom, rather. Miami was supposed to be at the bottom, and they're fighting where they could end up all the way to the 5th or 6th spot. And then going into the playoffs, like I said, man, anything can happen, because I'm looking at this league. This is not a league where you have Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid, and then everybody else, or you have Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal right now, which is good, Liverpool, and then everybody else. No,
exactly.
This is not a league like that. It's not a league. You have Philly, you have LA, even the guys is doing pretty great. And right, but all those teams are very beatable.
Yeah.
And Miami has played the 2 games against Philadelphia, who's probably the best team in the league at this moment, which is what matters at the moment. Going in, playing the important games, how you're doing at that moment is what matters.
Exactly.
I mean, both games against them have been tight.
Yeah.
It hasn't been like they got blown out. Philly blew out 6-0, 7-0.
Yeah.
When does that happen in soccer? Never. but
Exactly.
it didn't happen against Miami. Miami gave them a run for their money. So
Mm-hmm.
the team has a chance. All I'm saying, are you
Is
saying
there's a
there's a
chance?
chance? Are you
Exactly.
saying yes? There's a chance. First, you got to get in though,
Uh,
right?
yeah.
I'm jumping ahead of myself. I get all excited, because I'm very optimistic. But I'm optimistic, but not foolish. Because
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not saying it because I don't. I really, genuinely believe, based on what I've seen, that there's a chance. If
Yeah.
they get in, there's a chance.
So let's look at the next game. Miami's at on the road against DC United. Who give me one player that you think has to step up for them to get the win?
Oh man, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go someone you might not expect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Chris McVay because I
Okay.
already and I'll tell you, I'm gonna preface it with this. I already know that Higuain is going to be present because
Mm-hmm.
he's shown it already, and he's showing that he's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I fully expect Pozuelo to be there because it's your two DP players at the most important time. So I expect him to be there. I want Bryce, to be put into the position to able to compete and to help the team.
Yeah.
He hasn't. Let's see what happens this game. But why McVay? McVay is always on the field. He's always, and at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the season, he was one of the best players on the team. Period. Not just best defender, because he's a center back by
Yeah.
trade. He's a 6'4" guy. You got him out on the wing, and the guy is giving out assists, and he's isolated against some of these smaller, shifty players, which is not easy for
Mm-hmm.
anyone. And he's done a very good job. He's done a decent job. Is he the best left back in the league? No, but he's a center back. I promise you, if you put a lot of other center backs in the league out on the wing, on the left or on the right, because McVay can play either side, they might not do as well as he has done.
Yeah.
But the last couple of games, I've seen a dip in his play. I've
Okay.
seen. I don't know if it's too much. This all season long. Maybe he needed to be rested a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's mentally fatigued. I don't know, but he dipped a little bit. So I want
Mm.
him to go back to the top level, of
Yeah.
this team. He was one of the top players of the team. And then we had Drake Cannon to come back, and start the
Mm-hmm.
game. And we questioned. I was one of the ones that was questioning why Marshman would come in. He's a good player, but I was questioning why you would take out your young future, stud
Yeah.
goalkeeper, because he's a stud already. Why? But he's going to be the future.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you take him out in a run where he's getting valuable experience? You can't buy this.
Yeah.
He's in the pressure, every
Mm-hmm.
situation. You have to step up as a leader. He has to be vocal. He has so many things. So he came back in, but what Phil said was that he was like kind of like a mental break.
Mm.
He needed to mentally chill out. So he gave
Yeah.
him a couple games to wind down, and I guess to get his mojo back,
Mm-hmm.
and get his second win. And boy, did he ever get it, because he
Yeah.
was instrumental. That last save that he did, point
Mm-hmm.
blank, that reaction, it's like I thought I was watching Spider-Man or the Matrix or something. Like
Yeah.
it was amazing. Does he need to get better a little bit with his kicks from goal and things like that? Sure, but it's not awful either.
Mm-hmm.
So he's important. He's important because he's one of the younger guys, but he's in a position of leadership, like the loneliest position, right?
Yeah.
You make a mistake, it's a score. So he's got the pressure, and now he has a defense where the main defender, the main guy, is not there. The main voice is not there. You
Okay.
have leaders. You have Yellen, who's
Yeah.
a national team player, and you have McVay, who's got some experience, but Lowe to me was just that, like I said, that gritty. It's just that natural leader,
Yeah.
and he talked a lot. So he's missing that. Canada has to step up in that aspect too, and talk a little more, get his defense always situated correctly. Because I've seen the last couple of games. Sometimes the shape is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes someone's out of position, and it's been a few times where we've been put under pressure for some silly goals because of that.
Yeah.
And the goalie has to be a leader. The
All right.
goalie has to be a leader. So I'm going to say McVay, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Canada. And once again, and it seems to be in all sports, right? Defense
Yeah.
wins championships. And it's ugly. It seems to be ugly, but like
Mm-hmm.
even especially in soccer, once you get in football, once you get into the important games, it clamps down. You don't have that much space anymore.
Yeah.
Teams, it's harder. It's harder. Nobody just there's no gift goals. It's so much tighter.
Yeah.
So I the defense needs to step up. So I want McVay to fill in that role right now for Lowe,
Mm-hmm.
and I want Calendar to to step up as a leader.
All right, I'm gonna piggyback off of that. I'm gonna go with DeAndre Yedlin because I feel like going into a World Cup, he really needs to get into that mind frame of being that important player. You know what I mean? Where he can contribute, and he's obviously a great defender. He was our All Star this season, but he's that type of player that he likes to run up from the back and contribute up front.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I feel like at the tail end of the season, they really need to be all guns blaring. You know what I mean? Put the pedal to the metal, and that includes DeAndre Yedlin doing his thing, going up there and causing some havoc.
It's one of the most experienced, most decorated players on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, big time players, step up and big time make big time plays at big time moments.
Yep.
And
Yep.
he's another guy that I've been a little bit a little down in the last couple of games too, because he
Mm-hmm.
started the season blazing,
Yeah.
looking, world beater, and I think he's been down a little bit. But down for him means that not the expected excellence. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that he's played bad, but I expect excellence from this type of player
Yeah.
all the time. And that's the
Exactly.
burden, right? That's the burden of
Yep.
being that type of guy, and he hasn't been excellent
Mm.
lately. I think he needs to work back into that because
Yeah.
going up, giving some good assists, but he was also defending very well. He's helped a lot though. In a few games where he would cross from one side of the field and
Mm-hmm.
cover, the other side. He
Yeah.
does that. So I got to give him that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that he needs to continue to be excellent. I mean, he's one of the leaders. He's one of the core
Yeah.
players, and he needs to just take it to another level. If he wants to even play in the World Cup start, he needs to
Yeah.
show that he's at another level because Serginho Dest plays his spot. He just
Mm-hmm.
got to AC Milan, so now he's going to get some playing time
Yep.
and in a top league with a top team.
Exactly.
So he's going head to head with him.
Yeah.
He needs to do something here. He
Yep.
needs to show something here in this league that he's a difference maker.
Exactly. He's only got 4 games and hopefully some playoff games to show that. And maybe some friendlies here and there leading up to the World Cup. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, man. All right. So, any final thoughts, man? I think we are ready to wind
Final
down.
thoughts. I'm gonna get the article out and I'll give you the final thoughts there. But I do believe that Miami has a chance, a legit chance. And then the other thought in general is I'm feeling positive with the local teams. I'm
Yeah.
feeling like things are looking better. I mean, the Panthers had a great season. Not expected more from
Mm-hmm.
them, but the Dolphins have started off really well.
Yeah.
The Heat had a great season. Not much on the free agents or all that other stuff,
Yeah.
but still a solid team. And I like kind of the young players that didn't get much playing time. I think they're better than some of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy with them. And then just the Marlins are the only one that let me down a little bit. But
Yeah.
that's the final thought is sports right now in Miami are looking fun for us. Looking fun
Yeah,
for us. And
man.
now we're going to start. November is going to be out of control. Football. You're going to have World Cup.
Oh, man. It's going to be
Sport.
insane.
Yeah, no, it's going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. So
I'm
hopefully
already
everything's good.
I'm already planning with my coworker how we're going to watch sports while we're working. So,
I used to work. If I worked many years with City of Hialeah.
mm-hmm.
So in the World Cups for the summer, I'd put in, as to get a TV and watch it because we're in the parks and the kids and get them all going. So
Yeah.
that was the excuse. But everybody got hyped because the kids they didn't know too much about soccer, but once you get into it, that month long, you're
Yeah.
into it, and especially when USA, at that
Mm-hmm.
time USA was in. And
Yeah.
now USA is in again, and I think that's another. I think it's a team that could surprise people.
Oh, me too, man. I think they're they're gonna be scary for some of these bigger national teams that kind of look down on the U.S. You know what I mean?
They play.
So
They play. They play England. What is it on Black Friday? They play
yeah,
England on Black
on
Friday.
Black
So that
Friday.
so that would be forever known as the Black Friday upset. If
Yep,
we if that
if we pull that
we
off.
so okay, I like
Yeah,
it. I
man. They
like
should
it.
they should wear they should wear Amazon patches just to scare England.
All right, so I'm still trying to figure out who that good looking guy with the beard Edwin was talking about. I'm thinking it's Achilles, but
It's
well,
probably Achilles. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
you know.
I'm just upset that I can't really grow that beard that you guys grow. I had a COVID beard. Like in my
Yeah.
life, I never grew a beard, but since we were home and everybody, I was
Uh-huh.
like, let it go. And I actually grew like a little scruffy thing that
Nice.
I thought I could never do, but no, I'm the beardless guy here.
Hey man, there's always got to be one.
Dale.
There you go, man. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If you missed it, if you only caught the tail end, you want to listen to the whole show, you can listen wherever you get your podcasts, or you can just click the replay button once we end the stream. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week for episode 29. We got some big games this weekend. We're gonna touch up on them next weekend, so we'll see you then.
Peace.